Well, hey everybody. This is crazy. You guys are already here. You beat me here again. My second live stream in a row where people are here before me, which is just wild. How's everyone doing today? Is everyone doing good? Happy Sunday. We were here last week, I can't believe it, talking about episode 6. Here we are talking about episode 7. Most of you that I already see in the chat, which y'all are the real ones. Y'all are crazy for being here before me, but that is amazing. Most of you guys watch my review, so I'm sure we'll be talking about some of the same stuff, but just come in the chat, say hey, tell me how your Sunday is going. I'm already behind on the chat. Would it be a Sasha Raquel stream if I wasn't already behind on the chat? No, absolutely not. Okay, let us see what we've got here. Guys, this is so cool. Okay, Tula is here. Tula, how are you doing? I hope your Sunday is going absolutely amazingly. Different account. That's awesome. Totally cool. Glad you came to hang out. And Tula has a couple of things she's already ready to talk about. Same, Portwell, which if you guys haven't seen online right now, EJ and Gina, their ship name, since Gina and EJ kind of is hard to make a ship name out of since EJ is literally 2 letters. They're combining their last names, which is so cute. So Portwell is Porter, which is Gina's last name, and Caswell, which is EJ's last name, obviously. I totally want them to be a thing. I totally am on that ship, setting sail, heading out to sea, ready to see what happens with them. And then, yeah, Ricky and Nini are not doing too hot. They need to learn communication, which I'm sure we'll talk about a good portion of this stream about their relationship problems. Movies and Train Studios, what is up? I hope you're having a great Sunday. Good morning or good noon now. It's technically afternoon because it's 2 minutes past noon. But yeah, good morning. Hope your morning's been good. Rylan, thank you for dropping by the chat. What are you cooking? What are you cooking? Is it a late brunch? Is it lunch? Is it breakfast? What are you cooking? Let us know. I'm very invested now. Tula's sending some good vibes. Thank you, Tula. I appreciate it. Good morning, Alex. How are you doing? Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you guys are. It's noon here on the East Coast, but if it's morning for you guys, thank you guys so much for spending your morning with me. I really appreciate it. Marvel Studio, whoa, what's up? Good morning. I hope you're having a great Sunday so far. 1 week till the 4th of July. You know who's psyched? I am psyched. I love the 4th of July. My town that I'm from kind of goes home for 4th of July. And, I love my country. We got our problems. We got our fair share of goods and bads, but I love this country. So, yeah, ready to celebrate the 4th of July. Get some barbecue, have some burgers out on the grill, swim in the pool, see some fireworks. Like, I'm psyched. I'm literally in all your lives. I've been waiting for more than 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, Tula, you didn't need to wait. I'm so sorry I kept you waiting for so long. I was trying to have breakfast. I also was introduced this morning to Mr. Beast by my brother. So kind of loving that, the whole competition vibes. I watched the one where he had people on an island. So that's what I did this morning. I'm sorry I kept you waiting, but thank you so much for being here. Alex asks, will I be reviewing the Monsters at Work series coming July 2nd to Disney+? I definitely am planning to do something with that series. One of my favorite Pixar movies, if not my favorite Pixar movies of all time, is Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University, which I think gets a little bit less, it's not the first one, but I personally love it. So I will definitely be doing something with Monsters at Work. I don't know if I'll be doing the same episode reviews. If you guys want episode reviews, I'm sure I can start them. It's just at that point, I might have 3 series going at the same time. And if Monsters at Work is coming out on Wednesdays like Loki is, I don't know if I'll be able to squeeze it in, but I'll definitely talk about it. Tula is recommending me Gilmore Girls, which I have gotten so many times. And I feel like with my coffee obsession and fall being one of my favorite seasons, if not my favorite season, I feel like I probably should watch it. Is it still on Netflix? Does anyone know? But I've watched like 1 episode on TV, but that's about it. So if I ever watch it, I will do maybe like a season thing, like at the end of each season, I will talk about it. Jack says, yo, what is up, Jack? Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. Jack, as always, I have to ask, are you at work today? Or are you just going to chill in the stream? Jack had a great stream the other night, ladies and gents. He was listening to the Young Sinatra collection from Logic, one of his favorite singers, rappers, artists, whatever you want to call it, ever. So Jack, thank you for being here. Ziella, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Ciela with the X, it throws me off. But how are you doing? Thank you so much. Guys, Ziella each week comments a wild cut of the week, a bop to the top, and scream moments in her own comment, or his, not sure. You are the real one. The real one. Of all the real ones, you are the real one. I so enjoy reading those comments each week. You don't understand how much happiness it brings me. Everyone is saying hey to Jack as he's coming, and he is not working today, ladies and gents. He has a day off. Let's give the man a round of applause for watching his stream from home and not from work. Good guy though. He's great at what he does, and he's turned me on to chat sports now, so I can finally learn and be a more educated Cowboys fan. It's a hard life that I live being a Dallas Cowboys fan, but gotta toe the line somewhere. Movies and Train says that he was talking to Reagan from Reagan Talks About Movies, and he's not going to be able to catch the stream, but he says hi. Hi to Reagan. Reagan, if you catch this in the replay, hey, how are you doing? So nice to hear from you, and thank you, Movies and Train Studios, for passing that information along. All right, now for some High School Musical stuff, since I'm starting to see this pop up in the comments. I understand why Howie didn't tell Court that he went to North High, because she would talk about East High a lot. I totally get this too. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not saying he couldn't have, made a comment, but imagine you're like really liking someone and you work together. You don't go to school together, so the only time you see each other is work, and you're maybe like going on a few dates. I don't know how busy they've been or if that's really been addressed in the series, but like imagine she's so heavily involved in the musical at East High. Not only is she in the play as Mrs. Potts, but she's the costume designer and I think the makeup artist. She does all of that. He knows how busy she is, on top of being the manager of the pizza shop. And then she's talking about her musical, and you've just admitted that you like one another. How do you then say, by the way, I go to North High and I'm playing the Beast? Like, that is just such... Oof, that's a lot. Like, I don't know how you have that conversation. So I definitely agree with you that I understand why he didn't necessarily tell her, but I also feel like he totally could have. Like, I just think that's something they need to talk out, because I don't think it's that huge of a deal. I just think it's the way that it feels like a betrayal, and they were literally like in each other's faces during the dance battle, and like nothing was said about it. So that's definitely like, it's a little hard. Like, I understand why Courtney is hurt about it, but I also understand why Howie felt like it was a hard thing to talk about. Let's talk about that whole dance battle. Yes. That dance battle was wild. Okay, I love the way that they just all moved around the stage, and the mob song is one of my favorite songs from Beauty and the Beast. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but like, I love that song. I just think the energy and like the strife. I also love how High School Musical, the musical, the series, uses the songs from the musicals to like the tension point of Beauty and the Beast is obviously the mob song. They're going to like kill the Beast. Also, sorry if this makes a noise. I'm just trying to extend my mic arm. I got a mic arm, ladies and gents. That changed a lot for me. I feel pro now. But yeah, I like that how the tension in that song in the original movie mirrors what is now happening when in their battle with North High. Like, they're transferring the tension from the original source material to, what am I trying to say? To their high school problems. And I love that. And I also loved the remix, and I just loved the whole energy of like, it really did kind of feel like they were battling it out for like dominance and just being like telling each other what for. And I even like the way it ended with like Lily being like, we won, and then trying to get in their heads about the Rose song. Like, she irritates me to no end. But I like her as a antagonist in the series. I think she's really well portrayed and makes Sharpay look, from the original HSM trilogy, look like an angel. Like, makes her look like a freaking angel. Movies and Train says 4th of July is the hottest day of the year. Yeah, when you're outside all day, it's hot. North High being or doing too much, but I like the dramatic. Yes. North High seems like one of those schools that like the whole student body like knows that their school has more money than other schools, and so they just constantly rub that in people's faces instead of just like getting to reap the benefits of it. Like, I mean, you saw Zach's office compared to Miss Jen's office, right? Like, they're trying to shove that in people's faces, and I agree, they're being super dramatic, but I do like the tension that it creates with East High. Yes, Alex, you're correct. July 2nd has The Tomorrow War, which has Chris Pratt in it, which I'm excited. I don't know much about it. I did the trailer reaction, but I haven't done too much more looking into it, but I love Chris Pratt, so I'm excited to see more. And then, oh, I've heard about this Netflix trilogy where they're like releasing the sequel each week. I think that's such a cool concept and also makes for a really good trilogy concept, because I feel like when you make movies like that, there's sometimes it's like 2 years between them. So you've got to go back and rewatch the first one and like maybe it doesn't live up. But if you're filming them all at the same time and releasing them, I got to be honest, and you guys tell me how you feel about this. Netflix has really been pushing their one movie a week thing this year, and a couple of the ones in the beginning of the year because of award season and obviously the culmination of the To All the Boys trilogy, which I loved the third one. Having all of those come out, I've really enjoyed that concept. I think it's great for them as a studio or as a streaming platform, but I don't always watch all of them. Like, horror is not my thing, so I probably won't be watching that one, but I'll definitely be watching Tomorrow War, Monsters at Work, and Boss Baby. So I saw the first Boss Baby kind of when it was like on Netflix as like a filler background movie, and I will have to say it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not like my favorite thing. And then Alex is right. That same week, or exactly a week later, then is Black Widow. And in between those, we get a Loki video. So that's awesome. That's super exciting. The Night Films, Jack says, sub to Chat Sports. Yeah, if you guys have a team, they have, it's kind of like Barstool in the sense of like, they have like overall Barstool or overall Chat Sports, but then they have like individual for your team, which is super sick. So if you want to like really just dial in on like the Dolphins or the Cowboys or the Ravens or something like that, you can just subscribe to their channel and you don't have to get everything, but just the stuff that's specific to your team. Would you ever consider making a watch party streams for older movies? I was actually thinking about this because since so many of you guys are like coming to watch these High School Musical things, I was like, when the finale of season 2 comes, like we got to do something big. And so I'm trying to find like if there's a way to do, like, I can't legally for copyright reasons show the episode here because that would be like taking money away from Disney Plus. And also, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to take a screenshot of like a Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu show, but it will just black out your screen. Like, it won't, there's protection software in the streaming platform to stop you from doing that. So I'm sure there's something like that for streams. But if you guys are subscribed to Chris at Filmstock, he does weekly with all the Marvel shows. He's been doing like weekly episode like watch parties at like 2:30 in the morning, which I know some of you guys are a little younger, so I don't know if your parents would have a problem with you staying up to 2:30 for the episode, but some of you might already. And listen, I'm not going to snitch. I won't say anything, but I definitely would do this potentially for a TV show, but an older movie would be cool too, because as some of you guys know, I'm trying to get through 100 movies this year that I've never seen. So that might be good. If you guys have a movie recommendation that you'd all kind of want to like do a watch party for, I would have to just switch it over and put like this side of the screen, put like the countdown so you could sync it up yourself. But I don't think I can actually like show the movie, but I will think about that, Movies and Train Studios. That's an interesting idea. Have I watched? Yes, I have watched Encore. These are the Disney originals that I think kill. Like, obviously Mandalorian, High School Musical the series, Loki, all the Marvel shows. Obviously those get the most attention for being Disney Plus originals because they're big franchises, but I loved Encore. I don't know if it was just the fact that it's Kristen Bell or getting to see these, I don't know, it was so emotional, like watching all these old high school classmates like reunite and put on a video, or excuse me, a musical that they also performed in high school, playing the same roles. Such a great concept of the show. I think there's 2 seasons, maybe just 1, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, oh, Christian Christian, mic arm. Wow, what an upgrade. Yeah, that this is my boyfriend's, ladies and gents, and my boyfriend, singular. I don't know why I said it that way. He is the reason that I have this mic arm, so thank you to him for this. I really appreciate it, Christian, even though I know I gave you a lot of garbage about not wanting to pay for one, get one. But thank you for setting it up for me so nicely and making me look like a professional. He's also my tech guy. So if there's ever tech problems, blame him. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's just totally on me. But like, yeah, no, he's the best. I feel like they did East High dirty. Like Gina was in the wrong clothes to dance and they didn't have other dance. Yes, I did think about this. When the girl did the split and Gina's in the overall dress, which so cute, by the way. Like she can't do a split in that dress. No, not happening. And so I totally, yeah. For them bringing up the dance battle, Lily obviously sized them up pretty quick and was like, yeah, no, stop this. Yeah, and they had a way bigger squad too. Like that was totally not fair. Do they think singing will do all the work in a dance off? Yeah, I don't know. I definitely agree. It was an unfair, unequal battle. But it's what happened. And did we expect anything less from North High or anything more from North High, I should say? No. I didn't like how Nene or Nina wanted to include her song, even if the group gets disqualified. I feel like she's being selfish. I definitely think Nene is on this like self-discovery, defining journey kind of right now, especially with wanting to do her own song, start her own musical. Like she's definitely this season trying to navigate like being friends with everyone, keeping her relationship with Ricky, and also like doing her own thing, which I totally understand that like she wants to kind of do her own stuff. But like I am interested to see how the Rose song plays out, because I agree that should not be like, that shouldn't just be her decision that they get to keep that. But I'm almost wondering if like my hot take for the season, I've obviously said before, I don't think East High wins the Menkeys, but I'm wondering if they do something and just say like, there's all this stuff we've added that doesn't actually qualify for the rules that we're just going to do anyways and give the performance of a lifetime. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. And then I think they make it some reward or like cool opportunity from like Disney, which would just be so meta, but this whole show is meta. So like I wonder, I'm pretty sure Alan Menken is still alive. So I wonder if he's going to have a cameo at the end of the show. And I would love if he came up at the end and was just like, I know you broke the rules, but like, I love this song. Like that would be cool to me. So yeah, I agree. I don't want her to just have the final word on whether she gets to put the song in there or not. I kind of am wondering why Miss Jen didn't know the rules prior, because she has that whole like book. And I'm pretty sure when high schools, especially in real life, put on Disney musicals, they have to kind of abide by certain rules. Like lyrics can't be changed in the like text songs. Like you could probably add a song or something, but I don't know. Like I think there's rules against that. So Tula, I also ship Howie and Court. Absolutely. Yeah. Antone, I don't know how you say it in French, but dude needs to back up. Like, listen, you're sweet, and I don't feel like you want to be manipulated by Lily the way you are, but hitting on Ashlyn in front of Big Red, or just doing it at all and trying to be the hero of the day. Now, I will say, I think he just like reached out to save her as like an instinct. I think that was nice, but like him purposely flirting with her and being like, you should dump Big Red. No. And I know Ashlyn is not going to do that because that's not who Ashlyn is, but yeah. This year is the Kissing Booth 3. Easily the 50 Shades of Teen Romance. Yes. Okay, this is something that maybe you guys feel the same way. Netflix teen movies are so like, just actually Netflix originals. Netflix originals are very over-sexualized in a lot of places. Now, there's certain like stories where it makes sense. Like it's a little bit more focused on the story, if like intimate scenes as we'll recall them, or as we'll refer to them, if those are included in certain ones, like it makes sense. But like the Kissing Booth, I only ever saw the first one, but it was like so unnecessarily unrealistic. Like no one's parents are just like leaving you alone for that long, you know? Like I don't know. Yeah, I think the first one was horrible. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. I think it's horrible. Is Jacob Elordi even still in it? Because like I feel like ever since Euphoria, he hasn't really. Maybe he's still in it. I don't know. I don't watch him. but bless you guys if you do. You're helping Netflix out. But yeah, I don't understand why that needed to be a trilogy. I really don't. The first one was horrible. But yeah. Let's talk about Howie, because I wasn't expecting to see him in North High. Yeah, so I think like the thing is, that was, first of all, a great switcheroo with like where he went to school and like the fact that he was the Beast. Because I was also thinking like, really, they're just showing off the Beast mask, because that'd been like the whole reason they went to North High in the beginning, and that sort of thing. And so I thought it was kind of them rubbing it in East High's face and the Wildcats' face. But yeah, was not expecting that to be him. And the thing I think that was so great is the way they did it was with now I know some of you guys commented that you had captions on. I don't watch High School Musical, the series, with captions, because for me, since I don't need the captions, I will like focus on the captions and then I won't be focusing on the visuals of the show. So I don't watch with captions, but I totally think that's unfair, especially for people who rely on the captions, like people in the hearing impaired community, like to use the captions and then to have the show spoiled for them. That's really not fair. Like, I really wish, it feels like almost with the captions, they take the script, which is obviously going to say like Howie like walks out in the Beast mask, and then it's like later revealed, like obviously if he says something, it's going to have Howie in his title. And I feel like they just input that into closed captioning and then don't think, what is the experience of this for someone who is only reading the captions? Like they need to like cut Howie out and just be like Beast mask guy, and then only when he's revealed as Howie have that in. Like, that's something that I never thought about before people commented on my video, but I was like, yeah, if that's the only way someone can watch something and you're having it spoiled. And I know Soups was talking about how, I don't know if he was watching Loki in Spanish and then using English subtitles or what, but in Loki, it did the same thing where it revealed a character's name or who their identity was prior to it actually being revealed in the show. And I just think that's kind of a problem. Like, I think if you're going to have the closed captionings, I get it that it's better to have them to not have them, but like, I don't know, that's just not fair to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, proofread the experience for someone and see if it spoils stuff, because yeah. Anyways, that's just my opinion. But yeah, I was not expecting Howie to be there, but that elephant ringtone was so good because we heard it like so many times in the beginning, but then you forget about it because it doesn't go off and you think like, oh, it's just Courtney and Howie being cute. And then you hear it. And when I say my jaw dropped, I was like, for a solid 5 minutes, just shocked that is what happened. Definitely blown away by that. Yeah. Can we talk about the format of the series? I like how each episode focuses on one day, so it's easier to follow the characters and the storylines and not confusing. Yes, I do think this is a nice addition, and I talked about this, and maybe this is why like I let the cliffhanger thing slide a little more, is like I like focusing on one consecutive day or one consecutive like period of time. Like this last one was pretty much just the afternoon from play practice on, but yeah, that really makes it an easier storyline to follow. Because there's sometimes when, and I've been watching Teen Wolf lately, so I'll compare it to that. There's an episode of Teen Wolf. It's season 2. It's Lydia's birthday. And if you've seen the episode, you know what happens. I'm not going to spoil anything. But basically, there's a scene where they're at school, or it's like daytime, it's the morning. And they're talking about how Lydia's birthday is that night. And then Lydia goes over to Allison's house to show her like a dress she wants her to wear for the party. And then the next scene is Lydia at school, but it was like night before. So, but then it's night after that at the party. And that's very confusing because I'm like, was that 2 separate days? Was that one day and it was just a mistake, or like what was going on there? So yeah, I do appreciate that this season, everything seems very much like one day, one period of time. I like that a lot more. And it is definitely, it's much easier to follow. And I feel like you get more detail because I'm okay if there's like uneventful days. I'd rather have one half a day, very detailed, get to see where they're all at all times, than have like 3 days where you're just kind of skipping over stuff. I don't like most Disney Channel content. I didn't even see the High School Musical movies, but I watched the beginning of this and couldn't stop watching. I think this speaks a lot to the mockumentary format of the show and the writing of the show. I think, and I've talked about this a little bit before, I think Gen Z in general, I don't know where I really fall. I'm like I'm not old enough to be a millennial, but I don't feel like I'm young enough to be Gen Z. So I'm like kind of on the cusp there. But I feel like Gen Z has this extreme love of like The Office. In a way that even like people who watched it, like actual millennials who watched it on TV when it was coming out, like don't necessarily have. And I think Disney picked up on that and was like, let's use our most popular DCOM franchise, arguably, and let's use the mockumentary love, mash them together. That idea is brilliant to me. I think that is just, I'm still in, we're halfway through season 2 and I'm still not over how smart of a creative decision that was. But I do think that it gives the show much more energy and much different humor than you're used to in a Disney Channel show. But Ulrich Entertainment is asking, is season 2 worth it? In my opinion, if at this point you are maybe like not, if you like the first season, I definitely think it's worth it. The one thing I feel like though is watching these episodes this season week to week feels like a lot longer of a wait than it did last season. And I am definitely like for the weekly release format. I think it's fun. I understand from a business perspective why they do it and that sort of thing. I think gives me something to look forward to and for content creation. Obviously, if I was getting more than one episode a week, it'd be way harder to do these reviews, or someone would finish before I would. But since we're all kind of at the same pace, it makes it a really like communal experience, even though we're all watching it at home. So I would say yes, season 2 is worth it. But if for some reason, like half the season is out now, so you could like binge that and then watch week to week for the rest of the season, or you could kind of just slowly catch up whenever you feel like it. The episodes are 45 minutes, or like 30, somewhere between 30 and 45. I definitely think it's worth it. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't think it was worth it. But again, I definitely think it continues and even builds on the mockumentary, funny, different side of Disney that we get to see in the first season rather than just typical Disney Channel content. So if that's why you liked the show, definitely season 2 is worth it. You should totally review the third Kissing Booth movie since the third one is coming out in August. I would be open to doing this, especially because I do feel so passionately about shows that are pitched to like teenage audiences or kid audiences being quality. The only thing that I would have to prep you guys is like I hated the first movie. So it would not be a pleasant review. Like it would be me ripping it apart, or since I would watch 3 movies, I'd probably just combine it into one video. I would then go into like a lot of detail about like why I think it's bad, other comparisons. Like I would probably, now this might make for a good video. So stick with me here and give me your feedback. I want to know. If I watch all the Kissing Booth movies, since that's a trilogy, and I watch all the To All the Boys Before trilogy and compared them, since they're both Netflix originals, they're both pitched to teenagers, they're both romance, that kind of vibe, comparing and contrasting them, would anyone be interested in that? I'm not promising anything, because I genuinely disliked the first Kissing Booth. But if that is something that you guys would be interested in seeing, especially because at this point in August, like I want my High School Musical people, like we need to stick together until next year when we get the 3rd season. Hopefully, I hope it comes out next year. But we're going to need to stick together over that time. So if you would like to see this, leave a comment. I don't know if you can do permanent comments anymore during the live stream, or just let me know in the chat because I can see the replay later. Let me know. Okay. Not promising anything, but we'll see. That could be an interesting concept of like why I dislike the Kissing Booth compared to All the Boys. I get that it's a competition, but when Zach stealing another show's prop costumes disqualify North High? Okay, this is something that is interesting. I'm wondering, like, one, how many other schools are going to be in the Mankeys? Because I don't know, will they all perform them at their school, or will they go to like one convention, like a I think there's like a thing called ThesCon, like Thespian Con for like high school drama. Are they going to go to something like that and then all perform their musicals? Because yeah, I wonder if like, yeah, I don't know. I also, this is where we have to suspend our disbelief a little bit, guys, and be a little bit like, okay, there's a little bit of rivalry here, but I do agree that like if you're going to kick someone out for creativity and a positive addition to the show, that is like someone stealing something, especially a faculty member, like a teacher stealing something. Like if it was the kids, it could be a little bit like, okay, you guys need to like stop. But when it's an adult, I think that's kind of problematic. So I agree. I'll be interested to see if they address that. If they don't, I don't think it'll be the worst thing in the world, but yeah, I guess we'll see. Antone seems so innocent. I feel like he doesn't know what he's doing. Yes, I agree. I totally feel like Lily has him like under her wing and is like, because he's a foreign exchange student. So he's coming over here. He already admitted he doesn't speak English the best or doesn't understand everything that's going on. So for someone to just be like, come on, like, let me take care of you and like, you're going to do what I say. He wants a friend, but like, he doesn't see that he's being used. So totally agree. He purposely bumbled into EJ and insulted the costumes in Big Red. Yeah, I definitely think like it's also kind of one of those principles of like you are who you hang out with. Like if you hang out with a bunch of trash, like rude people, you're gonna like emulate those same behaviors. So with him being around North High and specifically Lily, like she can probably like put anything into his head or tell him to do specific things and be like, you're getting dumped from the drama club if you don't do X, Y, and Z. So I like his character for that reason. And I definitely think to go on to one of the next questions. Oh, sorry, I've skipped over a couple. I will go back to them. Do I think Lily can be redeemable? Obviously because she's a kid. I do. But I also think we've already redeemed our villains or antagonists from the first season of EJ and Gina, who now we all ship, or most of us do. I feel like, yes, obviously they can write it that she's redeemable character. But depending on what the focus of season 3 is, will we even need to see North High, or can she just be a sore loser and like go off into the distance? The only thing I hope is that that doesn't like affect this actress's career like going forward. But I also don't want to like be told, okay, you hated her all season, but like now she's actually a good guy, you know, like I don't want that to happen, but I definitely Disney Channel, Disney are so like willing to make a bad character good. Because at the end of the day, they're talking about like teenagers. And if you vilify like one teenager and don't really give them the right to like change, it's kind of unfair. But yeah. I miss the days where Mean Girls was praised as a teen comedy and Clueless. Man, I miss the late 90s. Yeah, so I talked about this a little bit in a video I filmed last night that you guys will be getting soon. It is my favorite movies and shows thing that I promised after I hit 1,000 subscribers. Now we're at 1.2, which thank you. But yeah, that's way overdue. But I talked about how like there's rom-coms and teen movies and things that I feel like were made in the earlier 2000s or early 2010s even that were like such good quality. And that's where I think streaming, and I love talking about this. So if you guys get bored, just tell me, move on, sis. Like no one wants to hear this. But I think that's where streaming has allowed things to get worse in quality at certain points. Now, there is competition, specifically more in the TV realm of like having a series that people pay for over a month. Because if it's weekly release, like you've got to pay for it for a month or more or whatever to get those episodes. But that's where I think like teen movies being made because they're cheap, easy fillers for something like Netflix, right? Like how many people watched the original To All the Boys before? I don't know because they don't release their numbers very reliably. But it is super like I like some of the new stuff, but I don't think the quality standard is there anymore. The way it used to be. Hold on, guys. I gotta step away for 1 second. I will be right back. 1 minute. Hold on. I'm back, guys. Major apologies. I got a phone call. That was a little bit of an urgent phone call. Everything's good. No need to worry, but I just needed to answer. Let's see. Okay. Speakers, Jarvis Pod. Oh, sorry. And now I'm going to be out of breath because I ran up the stairs to get back here. But I'm here. Okay. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't feel like there's movies that are required to be as good of a quality standard nowadays as there used to be, because everything had to come out in theaters and you had to get interest for people to go see the movie, pay a ticket, spend 2 hours of their life. Whereas now, if you're on streaming, oh my God, I'm out of breath. If you're on streaming, people already pay for it and they can watch a movie for 5 minutes. And if they don't like it, then they will literally just like click off of it. And it's already paid for at that point. So it's like, it doesn't need to make any more money. So yeah. Okay. Kissing Booth, Tall Girl, and To All the Boys are so over-sexualized. I think this is just a trend in Netflix stuff, which them kind of trying to keep up with HBO Max, I think, or not HBO Max, but HBO in general. But the one thing I will say is that in the To All the Boys trilogy, and I know this is like a major topic of discussion in the books, but is Laura Jean wanting to wait before they're super intimate until the third book, and that when they've had a relationship for a good amount of time, which I think is, I don't know, you can stand wherever you want on that sort of discussion, and that's not what we're going to get into today. But like, I think letting her have time and showing a more drawn out relationship instead of just like teenagers have sex all the time, like I just think that's a little bit a healthier option. But I agree that all of them have elements, or like Laura Jean's friend, that seems to be like all she cares about is getting together with guys in that way. But yeah. Okay. I didn't like the Kissing Booth either, but that video would be cool. Okay, maybe I'll think about it. I hated Kissing Booth, but also All the Boys was pretty good. I don't know, like I never read the To All the Boys books, so I can't speak to how true they are. And I know the third one, I think, makes a couple of pretty important differences in the story than what was originally there. But yeah, I can be honest. Peter Kavinsky, like in the first movie, like how do you resist him? And then I just like Laura Jean. I like the new age trope, and someone is gonna like the take. I like their videos, but I feel like sometimes they just are overly negative about tropes in movies when it's like at this point you've made a video about everything that's a trope. So I just take their videos with a little bit of grain of salt. But I like the new age like smart girl where she's like quirky and awkward, but like she has like romance. She doesn't have to change to have the romance, and to some extent she has like a lot of confidence. Like Laura Jean is a very confident character, even though she obviously goes in and out of that. But I like the complexities nowadays that are a little bit more there. Yeah. So that's why I like To All the Boys a little bit more. Or a lot more than the Kissing Booth, actually. Lily is like a pick-me girl mixed with I'm not. Yes! She's like, oh, I don't care about those stupid trivial things that you guys care about. But she's also like, had she been picked for Belle, she would be a totally different character than she is now. Like those superiority tendencies would still be there, but she definitely like would have been at least a little bit nicer just to get what she wanted if she was at the play in North High. Yeah, because East High gets benched from rehearsal in the sneak peek from episode 8, but they get to steal and no consequence. Yeah. And I wonder if that's something that will get brought up later. Like, I wouldn't want that to be the only reason East High gets a second chance or a win, but I wonder if they'll just like call it a draw and just be like, listen, like you both did bad things. We're going to give you a fair warning now. If you do anything else, like you're kicked out of the competition. But yeah. Which I think of Portwell. Ditto, Sarah, ditto. I ship them so much. They are so cute. And I was saying to a couple people in the comments, they really remind me of like early Monica and Chandler in the sense that from Friends, in the sense that they're friends who are kind of have this attraction together. And I kind of feel like the writers of the show are giving us sneak peeks of them together to see how we respond. Now, obviously, season 2 ends the way season 2 ends. Like no fan response to them as a coupling is going to change. But I feel like us getting little snippets of them is to see how we respond, so that in like season 3, assuming we get a season 3, in season 3 they'll be like, okay, if fans liked them, we'll keep them together. If they didn't, we'll break them apart. But yeah, I'm totally on the Portwell ship, 100%. Yep, North High better get consequences as well, because Zach literally stole pieces of their costume. Yeah, I think that's really ridiculous, especially, like I said, if it was a kid, it'd be like, you need to sit out the play, or you can get punished within the school or something like that. But I think it's definitely not cool of them to do that when that's literal theft. Like, that's literally a crime and an adult is committing it. So, hi, Rylan is back from cooking. Rylan, what did you cook? What did you make? Was it lunch, breakfast? I'm curious. Not to be nosy, but I'm curious. Netflix movies are hit or miss, but their TV shows are mostly good. Yeah, I would agree with this statement. I think Netflix has a good idea of what original series they want. And I think the thing is, with a series, you have a bigger commitment to actors, showrunners, creators, writers, directors of episodes. You have a little bit more of a commitment to them. So Netflix is investing a little bit more money because they're trying to get something that, if it takes off, they can have multi-seasons. Like, you guys, I don't know if you guys have read reports, but Bridgerton at this point, which came out January of this year, season 2 is filming currently, has been renewed up until season 4. So we've been promised 3 more seasons than what we have now. We've also been promised a spin-off series about Queen Charlotte. And I think there was one other series that is like connected to Bridgerton, which just shows how much they want to invest into their originals and how specific they want to be with those. Because if it's something like Bridgerton that takes off and it has a good well of source material, like there's 8 Bridgerton books, 1 for each of the Bridgerton kids, and now they're creating their own storyline within the show. They want that to work, because that is content that's 4 years hypothetically of content, potentially 5, that they could bring us to get people to stay subscribed to Netflix. That is like such a good take for them. But with a movie, Netflix can just buy like the distribution or streaming rights or whatever. And if it doesn't work out, like, they already paid for it. They just use the money that they're making from new subscribers of things like new Bridgerton seasons and put that towards the well that the movie had. But like, yeah, I think their movies are very, very hit or miss, because there's some stuff that I've like actually really enjoyed of theirs. Again, To All the Boys versus Kissing Booth, perfect example of the ones I like. Oops. What do I think will happen to Renee? I think personally it's going to be a little anticlimactic, because I think the drama is supposed to just be over the course of time. They're teenagers. They're going to have to talk it out and work everything out. I genuinely just think like, I think they're just going to have a conversation. And there's a still in the sneak peek, there's a still of Ricky with a guitar walking up to Nene. And I feel like they're kind of just one good conversation and one good romantic gesture away from being good again and being like everything's back to normal. I just genuinely think they need to have emotional conversations about Nene saying like, I want to do some of my own stuff that's not connected to East High, that's not connected to you. That doesn't mean I don't want to date you. And Ricky just needs to say, it hurts me when you don't tell me where you're coming from with stuff, because I feel like you're purposely trying to ignore me. I don't think they break up. I don't. I think if they do, it's kind of a cop-out and that sort of thing. But hey, I guess we'll see. Movies and Train Studios is leaving. Bye, Movies and Train Studios. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. Have an absolutely amazing day. And thank you for wishing all of us well. I appreciate that. All right, Danny's got a hot take. I feel like Ricky and Nene shouldn't be together. I feel like they don't mix well, and we've seen them have more problems, and I get that they're teens, but teens know when they need to break up, enough is enough. The only problem is, right, the thing that the drama is coming from between them is them not being honest with each other, which honestly is the best policy, people. And with them not admitting their feelings to one another, they're creating more problems for themselves. Like, it's one thing if they did something actually wrong, like Ricky saying they need to take a break in the first season and not being ready to say I love you and that sort of thing. And I agree. Like, I don't know. The thing is, like, I just remember in high school, me and my friends, if there were relationships, issues were usually really small things that usually had something to do with communication that seemed to be like a problem for like a week or more. Or like the time you'd fix the problem, then that same sort of issue would rise up, especially if it's related to communication, because you don't just like learn how to be good at that like overnight. You are constantly like learning how to communicate with the person you're dating. So like, I see where you're coming from, but I think the love and the connection is there between the two of them that I just don't want to see them break up. And I think they're trying to just show a different side of teenage relationships than big romantic gestures and that sort of thing, and just show like there's little problems, but there are fixes if you're willing to like stick it through and see the course and fix those kind of things. What is the best movie you've ever watched? My favorite movie of all time is La La Land. La La Land is my all-time favorite movie. So I guess that has to be like the best movie I've ever watched. If you want like a surprising movie, like one of the movies that just right off the bat like struck me as being so good was Booksmart, which is a 2019 movie directed by Olivia Wilde. That movie, I don't know why I hadn't watched it until like summer of last year, but when I did, I was just blown away by how good it is. But La La Land is my favorite because it is a beautiful movie. It is so well written. The music is so iconic, and it is like a movie about movies and musicals and love and all the things I like in a movie. So I love that. You may be excited for Damien Chazelle Babylon. Yes, I just saw the cast get released. It's about silent films transitioning into talkies, which is one of my favorite things in like the transition of film types. How blown away. And if you guys don't know, fun fact for you guys from my film history classes, when movies first got sound, no one thought it was gonna like take on. Like no one really thought, oh, this is just kind of cheap, or like, that's not really gonna happen. Same sort of thing happened with color, of like more serious movies would be in black and white instead of color, because it was kind of just like they saw it as like a little bit of a gag. But yeah, 1927, Jazz Singer came out. That has been drilled into my brain. Jazz Singer came out and was the first talkie. I love it. I think Olivia Wilde is in the cast, but yeah, I'm super psyched. His last movie, The First Man, I loved. I have an annotated copy. Let me see if I have it right here. I think I do. I have an annotated copy of the screenplay of The First Man, which I love. My boyfriend got this for me. It is amazing. It's got like notes, and you can see where they've crossed out things, but it's also got, see, like you can see here that this scene was cut. Oops. Oh my goodness. Oh, and this is oh my God, I forgot I had this. So I got to see this in college. If you guys are not in college yet, some universities will put on like early showings for movies, especially if they're a big school like UGA. Go Dogs. Can I get a stick-um in the chat? Thank you so much. But this was my ticket. I got to see it on October. Well, that says October 12th. I saw it October 10th. So I got to see it on a Wednesday, 2 days before it came out. I loved it. I think it's a really beautiful study of Neil Armstrong. But yeah, this has some super great info. Keep sliding out. Some super great info on how they shot the movie, the practical effects they used. Excuse me. The different types of cameras they used in the movie. Like, there's certain scenes. Oh my gosh. When they're on the moon, they use a different camera than they do when the rocket ship is going up. That's an IMAX to give it that like space feel. But then on the moon, it's shot like it's on really old. I think it's 16 millimeter. And then I think the rest of the movie is shot in 35. Not 100% on that. But yeah, Damien Chazelle I love Damien Chazelle. I've seen all his movies. I mean, I know he's newer to the scene, but I saw Whiplash finally. So I'm super pumped for Babylon. Thank you so much. You're very beautiful. Can't you become an actress? I suck at acting. I cannot act worth a crap. Like, even if I'm trying to like get my way with something and trying to like prank someone, yeah, no, I cannot. So becoming an actress is not my thing. Writing, on the other hand, I like to think I'm decent at. That is what I'm pursuing as a career path. So YouTube stuff's for fun. And I would love if that turned into something someday. But yeah, no, acting is not my thing. Yeah, no. Queen's Gambit, Stranger Things, Bridgerton, Umbrella Academy, Sex Education, Money Heist, Ozark, literally breaking records. Yes, that's what I mean. Alex and I are on the same page. We're mind melding today. Yeah, these Netflix original series have so much higher of a quality standard than I feel like any of their movies do. Okay. Jack agrees. Chazelle is the GOAT. Sorry, I'm skipping around here because sometimes you guys reply to comments and then I don't get to them later. And Reagan is here. Hi, Reagan. You said you can't stay for long. I saw that, but no problem. So happy you're here. Sick'em. Woof, woof, woof. Yes, thank you, Marvel Studio. I love my dogs. I love my dogs. I'm so psyched because I think we're going to have football tickets this year, and I'm so excited. That is maybe one of the saddest things that happened with COVID was not getting football games, which I know sounds dumb, but like my school football is a huge deal. So yeah. So not getting able to see football was definitely super sad. Sorry, I'm getting another phone call, but I'm going to see if it needs to be answered. Okay. Skipping back up to the top. Now they brought it up with EJ's dad saying he got into Duke, and Gina said he got in when we know he didn't get in. I think his dad bribed the school for him, like illegal. I don't know if that's because I don't think that's like as common of a thing, even though the whole college scandal thing that happened. I'll be interested to see, but especially like a school like Duke. The one reason I think that maybe something could happen is like his dad went back and talked to them because if you're a legacy like EJ would be, where your whole family went there or went for a good amount of time or were donors or something, that you can kind of pull strings that are not necessarily there. So yeah, I don't know if necessarily illegal would be what I think, but definitely could be something there. Okay. I don't know if you'd like this, but for the filler reactions, if there's a season 3 of HSMTMTS, but I know there's a School for Good and Evil movie. Sophia will be in. Oh, didn't know this. I love Sophia Wiley. Yeah, okay. Is this going to be a Disney Channel thing? Is this going to be a Disney Plus thing? Let me know, Soha. Let me know. Did you see the preview pic of them holding each other? Nene is crying. I felt like they were having an emotional conversation. And Ricky confronting her or comforting her, but I don't think they break up. Yeah, I definitely just think like, and this is my take on Rini. So if you guys have a different opinion or you want something else to happen, like I know my like theories are usually influenced by like my own personal bias for the show, but like I definitely think they're just going to have a really, really emotional conversation and they're just going to have to talk stuff through. And sometimes that's hard. Like, again, these are teenagers. I'm pretty sure some of them are like 16 years old or 17. So you're not exactly the most mature. Even if you're so mature for your age at that point, you're still going to have problems. And like relationships are emotional. There's feelings involved. So yeah, I definitely don't think they break up. I think it's just going to be like, it's hard. Like it's hard for Nene to tell the boy that she loves, I need space. And that's nothing to do with wanting to break up with you because you're scared of how the other person's going to react. So yeah, that's not, I think we're going to be fine on the Rini train, guys. Like I wouldn't worry about it, but yeah, I think we're going to be good there. Reagan, this is a great question. My favorite movie of the year. Let's think. What have I seen this year? I watched Trial of the Chicago 7. Oh, that was a mouthful. Trial of the Chicago 7. I watched that, but that's technically a 2020 movie. But I watched that. That's the only Oscar movie that I watched. I haven't seen Luca yet. Why do I feel like I'm missing stuff? What did I go to the theater to see this year? I've been several times. Oh, Raya, Chaos Walking. Chaos Walking, I really want to read the book now, but if y'all saw the movie, I don't think they're going to be making any more because I don't think they're going to be able to recoup that money. Obviously In the Heights I watched and I liked it. It's not my favorite in the world, but I liked it. Sorry, I got my letterboxd here. Oh, I literally have tickets on the back of my phone of the movies I've gone to see. Okay, so I saw Cruella. Was not a fan. Quiet Place Part 2. was really good. And I did like Raya a lot. Is there anything else? I saw Gentleman for the first time this year, but that's not a 2021 movie. Do I have anything else new? Oh, I keep forgetting about this movie, so y'all aren't going to believe that it's my favorite movie of the year. I loved The Little Things, the movie with Rami Malek, Denzel Washington, and Jared Leto. Oh my gosh, that movie was so good. So good. I really, really loved that movie. It gave me very Silence of the Lambs vibes. That is my favorite. I don't know why. I literally saw it twice. I've literally seen it twice. So I don't know why I keep forgetting about that movie when people ask me. I think it's because I didn't see it in theaters and I watched it at home. But I watched it twice and I loved it. I loved it. Very dark, very intense, kind of scary movie. It's a very thriller, detective, police work vibe. So if that's too much, just a fair warning. But that is my favorite of the year. Yes, absolutely. Who do you think Asher Angel's character is going to be? Is this an actor or actress? Let me look. Asher Angel. Okay, he's the kid from Shazam. I don't know. At this point, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be someone else to challenge the couples. I guess Seb and Carlos are the only couple that kind of doesn't have like anything threatening it, but I wouldn't just want him to just be that. I wonder if he's like I don't know. I can't give you a good answer on that. Damien Chazelle's movies feel like he's a director from old Hollywood. Yeah, I think that's why I like him. It's very modern classic feel to all of his movies that I really appreciate. My favorite Nolan movie would have to be, I would say Interstellar, because I feel like it's too soon to call Tenet one of my favorites, but I really enjoyed Tenet, and I really have been meaning to rewatch it because now that I've kind of like parsed through what it's actually about and what's actually happening, because, you know, trust Nolan to give you a little bit of a mind twister. But I would say Interstellar, just because Matthew McConaughey has got to be like one of my favorite actors. I'm trying to like watch all his movies right now. I've been working through his rom-coms. Gonna be trying to get to Dazed and Confused soon, but I think Interstellar or Tenet would be the answer. Hot take, I was not really a fan of Inception. I don't know if it's just because of, I think it's been overhyped. Not overhyped. It has been told to me that it's one of the greatest movies of all time. I've only seen it the one time. So a Nolan movie, I don't feel like you can give a fair opinion on it maybe till you've seen everything a couple times. But yeah, I would say Interstellar. Just wondering, do you think there's a season 3 that Olivia would return? I feel like her new success might keep her from coming back since she could be doing better things. That's interesting. And I have thought about this because especially with, like, we got the season 2 renewal pretty quick after season 1. I don't know if you guys remember, but very early 2020, they did a clip of them singing Beauty and the Beast to like reveal that that's the musical they're going to be doing. I don't think so though. And the only reason I say this is because her and Joshua Bassett, Olivia Rodrigo and Joshua Bassett, have both had kind of individual solo careers at this point. To good success. I think obviously Olivia is like crazy wicked star, but to me, if first of all, she maybe is on a contract to where she could be like, you're in for 3 seasons of the show or something. But to me, and this is something that I would never have imagined as a child, and I think it's great for teen stars to not go crazy the way they did in the early 2000s, to have a little bit of more of their own control over their careers, a little bit more other outlets than just being a Disney star. But I think if in their contract, it's just that they have to keep doing seasons of this show, but they can make music, explicit music, okay, that they can post whatever they want on social media. The way that Disney teen stardom works now feels very different than how it did when I was when I was a kid. Like, you never would have caught Miley Cyrus or Demi Lovato or Selena Gomez at the time that they were on their respective shows doing any of this stuff and not getting in trouble for it. So, or a better way to put it, not getting the praise that Olivia Rodrigo has gotten lately. So I personally think, yes, she would return, because that's just a consistent paycheck and she gets to continue the story, and maybe they've put a cap on it and said like, we're only going to do this many seasons that you're required to be a part of. I don't know. I think honestly though, if she doesn't return, it would just kind of be a loss, and that would stink. I wouldn't blame her for it, but you know, I feel like she's got a good deal going, and I hope she sees that. She seems smart enough to understand the business workings of like how this would be a good deal for her to be able to do her own music stuff, but still be working on this awesome show. Plus, she's been a Disney star for a good amount of time, and I think they've been good to her, so I don't know if she would step away. If I could recommend a movie for 4th of July, I would pick Captain America and the First Avenger or Top Gun. They feel so respected and fun to watch. Yeah, I think probably either or both of those will be something I'll watch 4th of July weekend. When am I streaming next? I don't know. I mean, obviously, Jack and I are doing the Loki Live on Wednesday, so I will be live on Fanatic Films. Go subscribe to him. If you guys are not, I know Reagan is. You're always there, Reagan. He is consistently on our lives, and I appreciate that, Reagan. But for me, I don't know. I mean, if you guys liked this format of review on Friday, stream on Sunday, I can try to do the same thing. I've got a couple of obligations on other people's channels that I have coming up, so I can't promise anything, but I would love to continue to do these streams on Sundays for High School Musical. I mean, obviously, we're talking about other stuff too, but yeah. It's kind of a good day for me because I don't really have anything going on. Yeah, so it's nice. Okay. Hi, Ricardo. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. I appreciate it. I can't speak. I hope you're having a great day at work. But thank you so much for stopping by and saying hi. Do you think Nene will leave the show because the way... Okay, so D, I may have already answered this, but if you're just coming into the chat, I think without making a call on what she thinks is best for herself and her career, I think Olivia Rodrigo has got one of the best deals with Disney that any teen star could have. She can make whatever content it seems that she wants outside of the show. Like, it's not being a restrictive force of her, but she also gets the love and support from the show. And on top of it, something I didn't address previously is that I don't ever, like, the amount of time she's gotten to write shows, like, All I Want, right? That was her song from the first season, one of the first ones that she wrote, went like platinum. So or gold, I don't know 100% what it was, but don't want to lie to you guys. But I don't, yes, I could see her leaving. To me, if it was me in that position, unless there's something behind the scenes that we don't know that's going on, I don't think so, because she's got like such a good deal going for her. She films the season, and then the rest of the time she can do other stuff. The only thing I wonder is if maybe it would stop her from like touring in the future. Obviously, this year's been kind of weird and different. But if in the future it stops her from touring, that's where I could see it being an issue. But I really hope not. I hope the show ends with them, or if it goes on to the next like drama club past them, I hope that like that's the time that they leave and not prior to that. What did I think of Raya the Last Dragon? I just watched it recently. I think it's so good. I really liked it. I think not to compare it to other Disney movies of years past, but like it had very like adventure vibes the same way that Moana did, but I preferred Moana. I don't know if that was the musical aspect or whatever. I really liked Raya and the Last Dragon way more than I thought I would. The only thing I didn't like was at the end, some of the designs of some of the dragon characters is all I will say. I wasn't a fan of. They just kind of felt a little My Little Pony-esque to me, and they just kind of looked like they made Sisu's character really detailed, and then all the rest of them, nothing seemed that different, which obviously, if you've seen the movie, I understand why they couldn't make every single one of them detailed, but yeah, I think I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I've partly rewatched it. Like I started watching it the other day with a friend for a little portion of it. But yeah, I do. I think it's really good. Reagan, I will go check out your film stock. If anyone has a film, or not film stock, oh my gosh, you Letterboxd. If anyone has a Letterboxd, let me know, and we'll check out your thing. Reagan Talks. Is it the same Reagan? Yep, found you. same profile picture. Oh, I am following you. Okay. Yeah. You guys can go check out Reagan's letterbox for yourself, but his rating of Suicide Squad was not pretty. I would have to agree. I had a lot of hype going into Suicide Squad when I saw it when it first came out. Because I saw it in theaters, believe it or not, for how much I dislike DC. I saw it in theaters. I think the soundtrack is sick. To this day, I think the soundtrack is sick. I like the design of the poster with like all their little animated icons or drawn icons. But yeah. Little Thing was all right, but that Golden Globe nominated Jarrow yeah. My opinion on the Golden Globes has gone into the toilet in recent months. But yeah, the thing I like about the Little Things is just that it feels very much like a 90s movie, which it is set in the 90s, but I like how well written it is and how certain things, the little things, see what I did there, that are written into the movie written into the story early on in the movie are then tackled and brought back up later. Alex asked what my Stanley Kubrick favorite Kubrick movie. Guys, have I had too much coffee or too little? You guys can vote. What is your favorite Stanley Kubrick movie? And Marvel Studio answered for me. No, I'm just kidding. The Shining. 100%. The Shining is my favorite Stanley Kubrick movie. Haven't seen that many Stanley Kubrick movies. The Shining may be the only one, but I love The Shining. Not a horror gal, so you can take my word for it that I think that movie is fantastic. And I have actually been to the actual hotel on which the Overlook is based. So not the one they filmed at, but the one on which it is based. And I won't say it's like super creepy. I don't believe in ghosts. As Olivia Rodrigo said in her Hot Ones video, I don't mess with ghosts. Ghosts don't mess with me. We have this thing going on. Yeah. So Soha and I are on the same page about this, and you've done the research, Soha, so I will leave it to you to say this. I believe Olivia has a contract with the show, a 4-year one, so anytime soon, probably not. Yeah. And I think the contracts probably still apply with the pandemic, so I don't think that will cut it short. I definitely could see, so they're juniors at the start of season 1. If you're going by semester, which they have, so first season is fall semester, second season is spring semester, then the next one is a fall semester of their senior year, and then the last season, potentially season 4, it seems like it's going to be a 4-season show. That is what would make the most sense to me. And then see if they do like a spinoff or something in the future. But yeah. Reagan's gonna go. Thanks for stopping by, Reagan. I really appreciate it. Kate really ships Portwell, but in an interview, Matt Cornett basically said it wouldn't happen. Maybe it's a cliffhanger with them getting together in the last episode. Who knows? Or is Matt Cornett trying to throw us off? Because I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do that. I don't know. I haven't seen this interview, so I can't vouch for like his facial reactions or whether I think he's lying or not, or if he's trying to mislead us. This is where I falter back to the way Monica and Chandler were introduced in Friends. They were written as a one-time hookup in London, right? They become a married couple by the end of the show. They become the most stable couple in the show, with Ross and Rachel being together and not. And so with Renee having the problems that they are currently having, the drama, the kind of like, they love each other, but there's hard stuff going on. I just feel like I could totally see EJ and Gina serving as kind of that like secondary character relationship that kind of gives a little bit more longevity to the show or can tackle different issues. And everyone's kind of coupling up within the drama department. So it seems like if they were just not, that would just stink if they just never get to be in a relationship in the show. But I really just hope that they are together. Yeah. So we'll see. But I could totally see that being something they leave in the end of season 2 and be like, if you guys like it, we'll write it into season 3, but not sure right now. Also, can you guys see this? I don't know what's going on. I itched. I don't know. Dazed and Confused is one of my favorite films, and it is a stress-free movie, and the soundtrack fits the setting of the movie. So I want to watch it because it's Matthew McConaughey's first movie, and I just finished his book, Green Lights. It was fantastic if anyone's interested in reading like memoirs or autobiography, essay compilations from people. It is fantastic. It is some great like perspective. He has such a great perspective on life that I have tried to take a little bit from. And And yeah, so yeah, the only thing I'm nervous is that I won't like it super much because I know it's one of those movies that it's like it's kind of a nothing happens movie, but I'm definitely gonna watch it sometime soon. I don't understand why people would say the season was written beforehand. So like Lorica, I'm trying to see if what you're talking about in reference of. Are you talking about Olivia Rodrigo leaving the show? Or are you talking about Portwell? Not exactly sure what you're talking about, but yeah, I think the season was obviously written beforehand. So we obviously know season 2 is not going to be changed by any online comments. They're not going to rewrite it and then film a new episode or change an alternate version of the episode. But I definitely could see them, like season 3, I don't feel like is probably written because they probably want to see what worked and what didn't. They listen to their fans in the show. If they do anything, they listen to their fans. So I'm sure they have an idea for what season 3 will be. I'm not trying to say like they have no idea, but I could definitely see them adapting it a little bit. Who is my favorite character? My favorite character is, I don't know, it changes week to week, and that's kind of why I did the like whatchamacallit, the Wildcat of the Week in my reviews, is because I kind of find someone else I like. I love Ashlyn this season. I absolutely love her. I liked her in the first season, but I really like the way she like shines in this season and some of the issues that she's been able to talk about. But yeah, I would say maybe Ashlyn or Seb, actually. And then Miss Jen. Miss Jen is a strong competitor. Strong competitor for like one of my favorite characters, just because I love getting to see like a really good teacher on screen. Hey, how you doing? What do you think about Ricky and Nene drama? Are they endgame? I totally think they're endgame. 100%. They're kind of, in my opinion, what the show is based on is their relationship. And so to me, it would not make sense to break them up and keep both of them as characters within the show. Now, if something happened where one of the two, Joshua Bassett or Olivia Rodrigo, did end up leaving the show due to a contract issue or not wanting to be on it or the contract being over, I like my bangs, but they're just frustrating sometimes. But yeah, I think they're endgame, 100%. I really do just think that this show is trying to show that there's different facets to being in a relationship than just being broken up or being in love and having that romantic moment, and being somewhere in the middle where you're like in a relationship but you're in a rough patch. I'm just saying, I think it's super mature. Alex, your letterbox is Clockwork King. I'm gonna follow you right now, or else I'll forget. Clockwork King. Gotcha. All right. Yep. Gotcha. Following you. Okay. What do you think Howie reveal is? Oh, sorry, didn't click on it. What do you think Howie reveal is going to do? Again, I think this is probably one of the cliffhangers that they've been known to do it in this season before. That they may just be like, oh yeah, Howie goes to North High, but we talked about it, and he's going to be playing the Beast, and like it's hard, but whatever. I do hope they address it, and I think they're going to have a convo at the pizza shop about it. To be honest, they're going to be at work, and it's going to be like, Courtney, you've been ignoring my texts. Like, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to talk to you about it. And Courtney's going to be like, listen, that wasn't cool. And they're going to have to talk it through. I don't know. I mean, I don't think like Howie's going to like transfer schools or anything. I think they're still going to work together. I also like I don't think anything serious is going to happen with it. Because why would they introduce Howie if he's just this small part? But yeah, I think it's going to work out. Maybe I'm too overly optimistic, but I think it's going to work out. What is my favorite singer and band? Queen's, Beatles, and Elvis will always be my favorite. Those are great. I love Queen. My number one band, though, is Maroon 5. Maroon 5, when I got my iPod Touch, right, or iPod Nano maybe, my dad said I could buy 5 songs from the iTunes store. And one was a Selena Gomez song. One was that Cooler Than Me song by Mike Posner. And I don't remember what the other ones were, but Maroon 5. I bought Misery or Moves Like Jagger. I think it was Misery. Yeah. I love Maroon 5. I've gone to see them in concert, and it was one of the best days of my life. I love Adam Levine. I watched The Voice like religiously growing up because I never wanted to miss like an Adam moment. I have plenty of drawings of Adam Levine that I have done. that I've posted on various parts of the internet, but we'll get into that at a later time. But I love Adam Levine. I love his wife, Bahati Prinsloo. She's a Victoria's Secret model. She's awesome, and they have 2 daughters, and I love Maroon 5. Love them. Of the new album, if you guys have listened to it, Remedy, the song with Stevie Nicks, is by far my favorite, but I also loved the Lost song, Lost. Yeah, I just love Maroon 5. And then individual singers, I mean, I love Niall Horan and One Direction, obviously. I love new Justin Bieber. But as in like an individual artist, I don't know if I have like a singular favorite. Let's look at my music, I guess, while we're on here. I mean, Olivia Rodrigo is making a strong case to be one of my faves, you know? I love TMG, Tiny Meat Gang, Cody Cohen, Noel Miller as a rap duo. I love their songs. Who else is on here? I love Haley Steinfeld. I really do. I love her as an actress. I love pretty much all her music. I don't think I have like one individual artist though that I like really like. I really love Post Malone too. I've really gone into Post Malone music over the last year of my life, and I really like it. So those are a couple. Not really a succinct answer. I apologize, but definitely those. Maroon 5 though, any day of the week, top 100%. Alex, thank you so much for coming to the live stream. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I love getting to like know my subscribers and getting to see you guys week to week, getting to interact with you and chat with you. So yes, Loki live stream on Wednesday for anyone that's got to go now. I think I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer. I was planning to stay on at least till 2, but if you guys don't want to be here that long, we can end it early. But yeah, definitely this, and then next Sunday, I think we'll be here same time, same place maybe. I don't know. I agree. I think their end game, they did a whole season of them getting back together, so there's no point in breaking them up again. I think they're just trying to see it. Yes, 100% agree with this statement. They're just trying to show a different side of their relationship, and 100% there's no point in breaking them up just because, yeah, you focused a whole season on getting them back together. Now it feels like a betrayal if you break them up. So definitely for them staying together. Last question. If Ricky and NeNe were to break up, where would you want to see both of them in the future? E.g. Ricky with Gina. Definitely not Ricky with Gina. Definitely not. It's not because I don't like Gina and I want her to work through her problems, but Ricky hasn't always been the best of friends to her. And I see where that connection, that crush developed, obviously. But I really want her and EJ together now. So that I'm definitely not on the Rena with Gina train. I would want Ricky and NeNe to get back together. I mean, I don't think there's anyone else I would want to see them with. I definitely think they make each other better people, and I think they invest in each other's like passions and dreams. So I would hate if they broke up and permanently stayed separate. And I think they make the most sense together as a couple. I just do. We even started this season with like the cutest scenes of them at Christmas and stuff. So like, yeah, I would not want them to get back to separate. If they were to get with anyone else, though, if I had to pick, I guess Gina would be the best option, but I don't really want that. Because then I would still feel like he's going to go back to NeNe. It's just that Gina presented herself as an option. Yeah. So, yeah, I would not. I think it would have to be a new character that they convinced me they were together. But I don't know, guys. When it comes to TV shows, or romantic ships, I am all here for the long game. Like, I like Percy and Annabeth and Percy Jackson and the Olympians. The long game. The friends, the sort of, do you like the person, getting there sort of thing. Love that. Right now, my biggest ship outside of EJ and Gina now is Stydia, which is Styles and Lydia from Teen Wolf. The long game of him, like, liking her and having this unrequited love for so long that I want them to be together. You know, it's that payoff. Jim and Pam, perfect example. Yeah, I like that way of doing things. There's other couples I obviously love in like television and movies, but I like the long game like a lot. What is my favorite episode this season and last season? Well, let's look. Okay, so this season, this season's tricky, and you guys know I feel this way because there's been so many good episodes, but I am constantly feeling like I'm giving something like a 4.9 or a 5 stars, and then there end up being more that I really like. Let's see. Okay, first season, I loved the homecoming episode. I really love that episode. And obviously I really like the act 2. So the second part of the season finale. But yeah, so so from season 1, I'm going to go with homecoming. Episode 5, which 5 is my lucky number. So definitely going to stick with that. Also, it's Mia saying bye. Thank you so much for stopping by. I was planning to go till 2 p.m. my time, so another 40-ish minutes on the stream. So if you guys want to ask questions, drop them by. Obviously, I know that's kind of a long time to be on stream just watching one person. So if you guys got to go, you don't want to be here anymore, that's totally fine. But I'm totally game to answer more questions. Non-High School Musical related. I can even take the banner off if you want. Here we go. There we go. We'll just take that off. It's a little bit of a eyesore a little bit. So yeah, so definitely feel free to stick around if you want to, but if you guys start dying off quick and there's only like 2 of us left, might go. But yeah, no, definitely I'm planning to be here for longer. So if you're here, ask your questions. We can talk about something other than High School Musical. It's up to you guys. This season though, yes, and is very good episode. The last like 4 episodes have been great. So the storm, which was when they're trapped at the school, the quinceañero, which is obviously Carlos's quinceañero, is great. Yes, and when they're I'm starting the episode. I did not mean to do that. Oh no. I hope this doesn't affect the stream. I really like that episode. And then I liked the field trip episode a lot. But even like typecasting is good. This season is so strong. So strong this season is. You know what? We'll go with episode 5, the quinceañero again, just because it's fun. It was before a lot of the drama started, cropping up, and we got to see our first glances of EJ and Gina as a couple together. What about you guys? What are your favorite episodes if you had to pick from season 1 and season 2? Do you have a favorite episode? Are you just not really sure yet if it's too close to call, as some might say? Yeah, let me know. Who are your guys' favorite characters? Because I asked you guys in the comments, my top comment, I like pinned it, was like, who is your main ship of the season? And a lot of people replied to that. Who's your favorite character though? If you had to have like one individual character, or like, fun question, if you could have one episode focus on one character. I know that's not how like the format of the show is like set up, but if you could have one character that you focused on, don't be shy. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. I want to know. What else can we talk about? Just because we're going to see. Okay, Soha's here. This season, EJ and Gina. So EJ and Gina as characters. I think we're going to get to see more of them, a lot more of them. There were some pictures released, which actually I can probably screen share to you guys. Let's see. Let me make sure I can do this properly. New HSMTMTS photos. Okay. Images. Also, are you guys excited that this season has more episodes? Because I definitely am. I feel like the story is like now getting going. Like, I don't want to say it was slow by any means, but I feel like there's so much more important ground that we've been able to cover this season than we have in the past, that that we just weren't able to. EJ, Gina. I literally like just saw this yesterday. Why is it not? Okay, I'm trying to find it, guys. But there's a photo of them in a classroom, which ironically will be one of the first times we've actually seen these kids like in class, like in a class that is not drama. So I'm really interested to see where that goes, or like what class they're in. Does Gina join the AV? Well, I guess she is in the AV club, maybe technically, because she's hosting the morning announcements. So I don't know. Let's see. Maybe there's like a news article about it. Yeah, I'm not finding it. I don't want to waste your guys' time. Ashlyn or EJ? Yeah, I really like EJ's character development this season, but I do also love Ashlyn. I think she's really just coming into her own. And last season, she was like, she's EJ's cousin, or like she's just kind of like a tertiary character, like secondary character. But this season, I really feel like she has like come into her own. I also love her in Big Red. Like the part where I didn't even talk about this in my review, the part where she's like, oh, we could be dating from other schools. Like, I'm Diane. Like, what's your name? Like, they're so funny and so like unabashedly themselves. And I love that about them. Marvel Studio Woe is EJ. Yeah, I think EJ is the most complex. And I don't know if it's because he is the senior of the group and having to like come to terms with not getting into the school of his choice, which is a super hard thing. Like, a lot of my friends went through that in high school, and that's just brutal. To quote Olivia Rodrigo, it's brutal out here when you're applying to colleges and you don't get in where you want to go. Woof, I would say Ricky, because he really reminds me of myself, and his parents' situation is highly realistic to my own. That's the thing I think is so great about Ricky's character is like, yeah, a lot of the drama that he's having with Nini right now is coming from at school stuff or musical stuff or their relationship, but a lot of it is obviously being influenced by his parents' own relationship. Like the divorce was only really like finalized towards the end of season 1. So it's still fresh and new. Like he just celebrated Christmas without his mom. He just moved into a new apartment. His girlfriend moved away. Like the dude's been through kind of a lot, like not trying to give him, you know, a way out of being a jerk at times that he's been this season, but he definitely like I definitely see him being like a good connection to a lot of other characters in the series, or excuse me, being a good tie to like viewers who have experienced similar things. And so I really just like his story, and I hope that when he and Nini have the conversation, maybe the reason she's crying or he's crying or whatever, again, is not them breaking up, but like talking about how hard it is to be like, you don't understand, like your moms are not divorced. Like I don't live with my mom. I don't talk to my mom. Like, and then my dad starts dating my teacher and then they stop dating. Like that's like a lot for a 16, 17-year-old to deal with. So yeah, I like Ricky this season. Like, okay, no, what am I trying to say? Ricky is not as likable as he is in season 1, but I definitely have empathy for him that I otherwise would not have. If he was just some other random character. Do you think I will do another live? Yeah, let's plan on it. You know what? Like I probably won't schedule it till next weekend-ish, but next Sunday is as good of a day as any for me. So I will do another live stream specifically for this. But I'll definitely do the review the same time, like Wednesday. That worked really well. You guys came in droves to watch that review. Like, oh my gosh, you guys blew me away with your support of that. Thank you so much. But yeah, no, I'll definitely, sure. We'll do a live stream next Sunday. If something changes between now and then, you guys get the notifications. So I'll let you know. But I think seeing an episode of one of them being Seb, yes, I would love to see his life on the farm. He's always talking about the farm and all the things he's doing. I would love an episode where he like brings Carlos to the farm, like outside of just the quinceañero, and is like, we're gonna milk cows, or we're gonna like, I don't know, feed the chickens or get the eggs. Like that would be so chaotic. I mean, I said one character, so I would love to see Seb at home in his family life, or like him bringing Carlos to meet his family. But I would love the chaos of the whole drama club being like there at his farm. That would be amazing. Like doing farm stuff, not just quinceañero stuff, but farm stuff. Oh, thank God they're never in class. Yeah, I know. So this is something like, you know, suspension of disbelief. You got to be like okay with the fact that it's like, yeah, it wouldn't be super interesting if they're in class all the time. But like high school shows never actually show these kids in class unless that's like the premise of the show. They're like almost never in class, or like in a show like Teen Wolf. Again, sorry to reference it. It's just on my mind. I just finished season 2. It is super like it's unrealistic in the sense that like either when they're at school, bad stuff happens to the point where like, don't you think the school would be like shut down, or they'd move schools or transfer them to another school at that point, or they're just like never in class and they only focus on the stuff outside of class, which again, we don't need to see every single moment of school life for them because that would be kind of boring. But yeah, would definitely appreciate, I'm interested to see what they're like in an actual classroom setting. Who's like the smarty of the group? I feel like it's Ashlyn. Or maybe EJ, kind of just a try hard in academics too, but yeah. Yes, before episode 5, there was showing these things from the last season that are connected. Yeah, I definitely, I like that everything has tied in really well from the first season. It feels like we haven't really missed out on much time, which we technically haven't because the winter musicale was like their last week of school for Christmas-ish. And then we saw them celebrate Christmas. And yeah, so we haven't really missed much story time for sure. And I think they reference that they're in March now. So that would make sense that like now we have 5 episodes left. We see like March through May. I think it said in the morning show, the announcements, that she was the only one who said yes. Oh, yeah. She was the only one that agreed to do it with EJ. I love that for EJ, though. Like, it is so cool to see, like, friends of yours in high school, like, start new things. Like, if he's starting the morning announcements or, like, he's agreeing to do it and then, like, getting Gina to do it, that's so cool. I love how Redland, which is Big Red and Ashlyn, and Portwell, Gina and EJ, can be so casual and just, like, friends around each other. Yes, I like this, again, because, like, I like Ricky and Nene. Don't get me wrong. I really like them. I want them to be together. I like the sweet things that they do for each other. But everything is like, here's a guitar pick that she wears with his name on it. And like, he has something else of hers that she, I think it's also a necklace that she gave him, or he gave, whatever. Maybe I'm flip-flopping the two. But like the gifts and the grand romantic speeches of I've loved you since we were 10. I've loved you since kindergarten and that sort of thing. I love that. It's so fun. It's so cute. But I also do like the couples that are just like, they're kind of flirty, but like they exist together and they don't make everything about them. Because the one thing I'll say, and I think we've seen that a little bit, maybe from Gina's perspective, maybe from other characters' perspectives, is that like when Ricky and Nene, like, I don't know how y'all's high school was, but like no one was allowed to kiss at my high school. Like, oh my gosh, had Ricky like picked her up and spun her around, teachers would have been like running out and being like, what are you guys doing? Like, blah, 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 no PDA, like, let's chill out, like, blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously, like, kids are kids and teenagers are teenagers and teenagers do things they're not supposed to by nature of being teenagers, or things that are against the rules. But yeah, I like the dynamic of them being more like having the romantic side of them, but like also still being cool, being friends and not having to constantly be like, I love you so much. Do you see this show having a long run, just having new kids and students join the cast as older ones graduate? So I think it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if this entire cast was gone. Like, obviously, Miss Jen and Mr. Mazzara being teachers at the school would realistically, they would stay. If we got brand new students, I don't know if I would care as much. And the other thing that I'm pretty sure is still in the works, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure a High School Musical 4, which takes place like way in the future. It doesn't deal with, I think maybe Sharpay was going to be a teacher at East High in the movies, but I think it was supposed to focus on the soccer team and stuff. Last I checked, even after HSMTMTS has come out, that is still a movie that Disney is trying to make. So I wouldn't be surprised if the show was like a 4 or 5 season run where it's like, okay, a couple years that have gone by, we get to see these kids graduate, but then at that point, I could see them ending the show and moving on to like the movie that they want to put out. But I don't know. I could totally see them though trying to do a season where it's like new kids, but I also feel like all of them are pretty much the same age. So like if they all go and graduate, that feels like a very final, like that's how High School Musical that's how High School Musical 3 ends. Senior year, it ends with them graduating. So like I think I would like it to end that way if I got my pick. But I definitely, obviously, like when EJ graduates, that's room for like one more character in the show. But especially if they're going to be doing stuff where like their jobs or things they do outside of school beyond the drama club, if that's going to have characters the way the Pizza Shop does, then I feel like that would be enough of a way to bring in new characters. But I think it should end when the majority of like Ricky and Nene, who the show is about, like main characters, when they graduate, like then the show's over. But that's just my opinion. I think there might be a season in summer. See, that makes sense because High School Musical 2 takes place during summer, and I would love that. The only thing is, like, the show is about them doing a musical, which, again, we see their lives at home, but I'm just wondering if, like, I don't know. I would love if they all, like, got jobs somewhere, but they're already introducing, like, in the original High School Musical, none of them have jobs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure none of them have jobs except for that summer at the country club. Like, it only just shows them at school and at science Olympiad and basketball. But I would rather have the show do things like them being on spring break and doing like that. I don't know, but then maybe they're proving that they can do the show when it's not strictly at school. So I don't know, but then like why would Miss Jen be hanging out with them? Unless they're going to do like a summer performance, which I don't know. But yeah. Do you think we will see EJ graduate this season because he graduates in May? I definitely think that will be addressed. I mean, we're going to talk about his college situation next episode, and I think it would make sense if there was some sort of timing conflict with EJ graduating, or like, I don't know, I would love to see like his grad party. Like that would be like a cute thing for them to do since Ashlyn is always throwing the parties. Like I would love that, but yeah, I definitely think we'll see you graduate. So Soha's opinion is, since they are all different ages, I don't think it will end when they all graduate, which I would agree with, except who are the sophomores? I would have to go back to season 1 to pay attention, but Gina is the only one I know is a sophomore. If they wanted to get away with something, they could say she did like summer classes to like catch up. She's been hopping around so many times from school to school that like obviously she probably has to retake some classes or they don't all apply places, but she's the only sophomore. And then EJ is graduating. He's a senior currently. He, if he graduates, then to me, there's enough of them in the middle. I'm assuming that, okay, so I was saying that Carlos is maybe a sophomore. So if it's more half and half, where like Ashlyn is a sophomore and Gina is a sophomore and Carlos and Seb are a sophomore, I could totally see, especially with Joshua Bassett and Olivia Rodrigo having the solo music careers that they have, I could see, okay, so the consensus seems that there's maybe a 50-50 of who is the, like Big Red, Ricky, Nene would be the seniors, or like they would graduate, and then there'd be enough of them left. That seems like it could be, I don't know, at that point, I think they would write the show to end on that season with them graduating, and then have the new squad of Ashlyn, Gina, Seb, and Carlos be like, we're the seniors now, like we run this, and then see if people have an interest to watch, and then make a really short like final season. That could be interesting. I would watch that. I just think then that only really buys them 2 more seasons. So maybe, unless we're saying there's a season in the summer, only really 6 seasons. And I definitely see the show, just with the direction and contracts of Olivia Rodrigo and Joshua Bassett at this point in time being the 2 like stars. Obviously everyone is equally talented. Like they're all great. They're all fantastic singers, dancers, actors. But like for them to be the 2 like breakout stars, I could totally see like them leaving before everyone else. And I also could see if it like ended. I don't know. If it the thing is, like, that's a good portion of the cast is these 4 people right here. Gina, Ashlyn, Seb, and Carlos. Like they're kind of a lot of the people carrying the story right now when Ricky and Nene are having their problems. So I could totally see, I could also maybe see if like they did like snippets of like Ricky and Nene coming back for the musical as like a good last cameo of the show. That would be good. Marvel Studio says, I understand why you wouldn't care after Nene and Ricky graduate, but that's now like next season they can start introducing characters. Yeah. See, and that's the thing. Like shows like this, like they're intended to bring you characters for you to care about while you still are like focused on the main characters. That then by the time those main characters are gone, you care more about them. The only thing is I just don't want this to be a show that runs for like ever. I definitely see it ending when the core group, so including the sophomores right now, graduate. That is when I see it fully ending. So I would give this like 5 to 6 seasons, depending on how the showrunners want to run everything. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they did end it after Ricky and Nene. Not saying they wouldn't continue it. I'm just saying like I could definitely see them. But again, if they do a season where Ricky, Nene, and EJ are all gone, I would totally understand why now they're giving more importance to Gina, Ashlyn, Seb, and Carlos, because like they want you to be as invested in these characters as we were with Ricky and Nene in the first season. There's a part of me watching the show without Nene and Ricky. There's a part of me watching the show without Nene and Ricky, as I am not watching for them anymore, but thinking about it, I don't know for sure. Yeah, this is my long-winded way of saying I'm not sure. It could swing both ways. It could really do either. It could end when they graduate. It could stay for the sophomores. Maybe Ricky and Nene come back and like just show up and it's a shorter season. I don't know. I definitely am interested. I think there's enough content there for sure, enough story material to continue past Ricky and Nene's graduation, but I could see them ending it there. And I just don't want people to like, I don't know. I think that's when the fan response would be like, one more season, to give all the characters like a good ending. The Disney Channel Grey's Anatomy. Yes, exactly. That is not what I want it to be. I do not want it to be this show that just goes on for too many seasons. Or I don't want it to be a show that goes on for even like 6 seasons and then the 5th and 6th season like are less quality. Like I want it to be held up to that standard, which season 2 has proven to do that, if not improve upon what season 1 was able to accomplish. But yeah, I don't want it to be like get like iffy in quality towards the end of the run of the show. But the writers are talented enough and the cast is talented enough to where I wouldn't mind a season without Ricky and Nene. I think there would have to be an adjustment there. But I think, you know, we as viewers can learn quickly what the format of a show is going to be. And we can really adapt to like what we're trying to work with. So either way, it could really go either way. Let's look up right now, actually. Oops. Pulling my whole setup here. How many seasons of HSMTMTS? Well, that's not it. Give me 2. It gave me 2 as my answer. Here. I'll share my screen so we can all look at this at the same time. So right now it's showing 2. I think that's just saying like what there is. See, all these are from the dates are before when season 2 aired. Season 3 on the fandom wiki page. Let's see. Set to premiere in 2022. I can't like promise that is the most reliable of information, so I don't know. But Soha says, I think the fact they have a lot of new actors on the show from more popular projects brings up fans. Yes, that's something I could totally see them doing, is like bringing in more and more actors or actresses, and like even like Derek Huff being in this season. Like Derek Huff is a huge name, so to bring in Derek Huff even as this just like teacher side role at this other school, like obviously this Disney has a lot of weight. Like they can pull and bring in a lot of different actors and stuff. And so I think if they're trying to, I think if they want the show to run for a long time, they'll make it run for a long time. Like I definitely, though, at this point, I don't see this show prematurely ending. Like if season 2 ends with a cliffhanger, I don't think Disney's going to cancel it, because they know how much of a moneymaker or like how popular of a show this is, that they're not just going to randomly say, oh, it's done now. Sorry, you don't get the conclusion. I just wonder where the cutoff for that will be. Well, what else are you guys watching other than High School Musical, the musical, the series? I want to know, because I feel like we've talked about this a lot. And I would just like to know what else you guys are interested in other than High School Musical, the musical, because that's kind of what we talk about each week. But what else do you watch? Do you watch other shows that are similar to this, like high school dramas, or does that depend? Does what you watch depend on what streaming platforms you have, or what? I want to know. Like, what are you interested in? Are you guys? Oh my gosh, are you guys watching Loki too? Do you watch Loki or no? Is there anything that you've seen pop on Disney Plus that you think isn't getting the attention that you want it to, that you really like? Let me know in the chat. Let me know, guys. We'll hang out here for a little bit longer, 15-ish or so more minutes. Maybe, unless we keep talking past that. Yeah. What else? What else can we talk about? I already asked you guys. Nah, my brain can't handle another show right now. Yeah, I feel you. Like, I feel like your brain only has so much bandwidth, and that's where I do like the weekly releases for the Disney Plus shows specifically, because Wednesdays are my Loki days. I talk about Loki literally all day long. I watch it in the morning. I do my review of it. I listen to myself edit my review of it, and then I do Loki Lives with Jack at night. So, like, that's in there, right? That's Wednesdays. Then half my day Friday by watching and reviewing the episode is High School Musical. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys heard my stomach. It just rumbled. And then Sundays I do these live streams. So High School Musical is pretty big. And then right now, my only other show that I'm currently like watching, I was watching Veep, which is great, but I haven't watched in a while. Because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to wait for my boyfriend on that one. I started watching it by myself, then he started watching it, really liked it. So I don't know. I need to ask him if I can continue to watch that. Like, if he wants to continue to watch it with me, or if that's goes back to being my show. I don't know. But Teen Wolf has been, I've been binging Teen Wolf. So that's where I like the weekly releases, is it allows you to like binge other shows in your spare time, instead of just binging all of High School Musical or all of Loki and then being done with it. Finished The Boys a few weeks ago. What did you think, Marvel Studio? Because I love The Boys. It is vulgar and violent. I will say that. I am so excited though. One of my favorites from The Walking Dead, Andrea from like seasons 1, 2, and 3, Laurie Holden, is coming on to be the Crimson Countess, who's like a Scarlet Witch like ripoff. And then Jensen Ackles is going to be Soldier Boy in kind of be a take on Captain America. I'm really interested with the direction that The Boys is going in. That was a show that really like stunned me the first season. Season 2 I didn't like as much, but obviously like I liked the continuation of the characters, and I love Starlight and the main guy together, and then Billy Butcher and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, Boys is great. I'm super psyched for season 3 whenever they decide to drop that. That show is such a good show. For me, High School Musical, the musical, this series is the only thing fueling for now. I can't seem to find anything else. I feel this, like sometimes when you watch a good show, you just like can't watch another show for a while, because it's like, because it's just like in your memory is such a good show. Like that was how, sorry not to beat a dead horse, but when I finished Game of Thrones, I was like, what do I watch after that? Because you can't watch something similar because it won't compare. And then the new thing, even if it's good, won't seem as good because you're comparing it to the other thing. But then it's like you're on a fantasy kick with Game of Thrones. I'm on a fantasy like ensemble cast show. So that's hard to manage and like decide like what to watch next. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I can think of any shows, High School Musical, the musical series. I mean, you could always rewatch the original movies if you just want like something to watch or put on in the background. But if you like High School Musical, the musical, the series, maybe watch something like The Good Place might be good. It's from the same creator of The Office and Parks and Rec, Michael Schur. He's a genius. But he, Parks and Rec is more similar to High School Musical than I would say even The Office is, even though Ricky is very much like a Jim type character from The Office. Parks and Rec has that like upbeat, like kind of like optimistic, positive vibe from Leslie Knope that I think very much mirrors like a Miss Jen. If you've never watched it, I like Parks and Rec just as much as I like The Office. It was my first love. So yeah, but like you just said, yeah, more of a movie person currently. I think when you finish a really good show, or you're like watching a really good show week to week, you got to just switch to a movie because it's a different format and it's different. Let's see. Okay. I love Loki. I do too. He's one of my all-time favorite MCU characters. I'm loving this season so far. Last week's episode wasn't not my favorite. I tried to be a little bit more on the silver lining side, but I think as I'm creeping up on next week's episode and not having to wait too long for another one, I'm kind of like, maybe I didn't like it as much as I initially thought I did. Or maybe I'm able to accept its flaws a little more. But yeah, I'm just really interested to see where the season goes because of the bomb drops we got last episode. So I'm excited to see where that goes. I watched Big Shot. That is the John Stamos basketball show, correct? And really enjoyed it, but the season just ended. See, and that's the problem with these like streaming shows. Like, it's nice that they come out week to week because then you like it lasts for longer. But then you're gonna have to wait because the season ended and like now you have nothing to look forward to next week. And I'm sorry about that, Brooklyn, because that is brutal. Like when This Is S goes off season, which it's off right now, like it stinks. I'm like, what do I do on Tuesday nights? Like, I don't know. Marvel Studio Woe talking about The Boys. I'm so pumped for the new season. Excited to see the new soups. I'm excited to see. I'm interested to see. I just hope that all of them that come in aren't strictly evil, you know? Like, I'm really hoping that maybe not. I see Jensen Ackles, and I've never read The Boys comics, and I know they seem to be sort of closely following the comics, so I don't know how much you can actually glean about what the season is going to be about from the comics. But I get evil vibes from Jensen Ackles' character. Definitely not a Dean Winchester here, folks. Definitely a little bit more like a little bit more evil. He seems a little bit more like Homelander. Which, speaking of, hold on. Is this not the coolest Bunko? Look at this. He's got the eyes and stuff. He is like one of the greatest written characters and greatest acted characters on TV. And what am I trying to say? No, not Homelander reminds me of this guy. This guy reminds me of Homelander. John Walker, U.S. agent from Falcon Winter Soldier. These two are two in the same. One in the same, two in the same, whatever. But yeah, that was an awesome pickup from Target the other day. It was like buy two, get one free. And I was like, oh. So I got him. I got Elaine from Seinfeld. And then I got my dad one for Father's Day. I watched a bit of The Good Place. I liked it, so I might binge it. I love The Good Place because it is both deep, well written. It's very short, so it's only 4 seasons, which sucks. But it is all fantastic. It is so funny and uplifting. I'm gonna burp. Hold on. Okay, it passed. Yeah, it's really good. I believe all 4 seasons are on Netflix. So, highly recommend. I need there to be more shows about Theodore Dorks, please and thank you. Yes. I definitely think High School Musical, the series, kind of has like the clutch on this market right now. I can't think. If you haven't seen Encore, which a bucket of fandom trash, I'm not sure. Love your username, by the way. I am not sure if you were the one that brought that up earlier, but if you haven't watched Encore, it's a reality show, so it's a little bit different. But it is on Disney Plus as well, which I assume you have the subscription to if you watch High School Musical, the series. Always gotta add that in there. So yeah, definitely would recommend that to you if you have not seen it yet. I know this is very different from HSMTMTS, but I love The Flash and I love HSMTMTS, so maybe try watching that. I have to say, the early seasons of the Arrowverse shows, I've only ever watched Flash and Arrow. So good. And I have heard from my friend Jaren at Jaren Talks Movies that that Superman and Lois, which is a new one, connects to Teen Wolf because of Tyler Hoechlin, but is the newest Arrowverse edition. I think what the CW is doing with that is so smart. That is what DC needs to be doing. But the CW, like, obviously that's DC characters as well in the CW, but yeah, no, I think The Flash kind of is similar vibes because it's also a teenager, also kind of like lighthearted. 6 seasons are on Netflix. There you go, guys. Thank you, Ray, for that. Really appreciate that. Yeah, that's definitely it's got the nerdy, like awkward teen vibes that HSMTMTS deals with. So I think that's a good addition. It's superhero. But you know, if you have Netflix, that's a great recommendation. Homelander, yes. I'll show them one more time because I'm just super excited about this. This is so cool. The detail that goes into these Funkos, I've talked about this before, which, okay, I'm going to put this as a disclaimer right now to everyone. These, do not get into them if you have impulse control issues, if you do not have self-control at the store, or if you don't have the money, because the way I went from having 1 of these to 4 of these to like 20, like, and I'm not being over dramatic, like I'm pretty sure I have 20 at this point, is ridiculous. They take up a lot of space. Like, I'm not trying to knock this. Like, I love these things. And I think they're like usually like $9 to $12. So if you like them, like, do it if you're an adult. But like, money hole right here. Money hole. Just because, you know, you can always have like, yeah, you could resell them. But like, are you going to resell them? No, don't lie to yourself. Don't buy something with the intention of reselling it. Just save the money to begin with. That is my financial advice for the day. Only get into Funko Pops and use your money responsibly. Timothy has mixed feelings about the iCarly reboot. I don't have Paramount Plus, and I don't intend to buy Paramount Plus. I'm already paying for too many streaming services as it is, and one's probably gonna have to go soon. But yeah, I've heard mixed things. I've heard some people say it's like really good nostalgia, and they've picked up right where they left off. Some people have said they don't like it as much. I can't give my opinion. But yeah, are the episodes coming out weekly, Timothy, or are they like all in a batch? I don't know if I knew that news. Ray Parker recommends Julie and the Phantoms. I haven't watched Julie and the Phantoms. Again, when it's like a Netflix original, I'm really bad at catching it when it's like first comes out. The only time I've ever done that is To All the Boys I've Loved Before and Bridgerton. Those are the only 2 I've like watched like when they were popular, not like after the giant wave of it. But Julie and the Phantoms, I'm pretty sure is like they're a band, right? So maybe that's a good recommendation. I also know very, very different vibes in HSMTMTS, but Riverdale is also about high schoolers, and Josie and the Pussycats are like, that's their band. And I know there's a couple of musical episodes, but I don't know if they're any good. I love Encore. I hope it gets picked up. It's such a good show. It is really so good. And I think Chris and Bella is like the perfect host. Yeah, I love it. Superman and Lois is so good. Okay, Ray, I asked Jaren this, but you give me your opinion. How many episodes are left? Well, you know what? I can do that research for myself. I'm a capable human being. I can research something myself. Here we go. Also, I'm like freezing now, guys. The one time I didn't wear a hoodie because I was like, it's kind of rosy. Kind of went with the vibe of Beauty and the Beast for HSMTMTS. Superman and Lois. I'm not gonna put it on screen because I know this is kind of like a spoiler show, so I don't really want to like ruin it for anyone. Does anyone know how many episodes are left? That's what I'm trying to look up. I don't want to read spoilers. The season finale is in July. So end of July. July 20th is the season finale. So my question for you, Ray, is do I catch up now? Do I binge it and then watch the remaining episodes live? Or do I wait till it's all out? Because I believe CW still has the deal with Netflix that when an episode of their or a season of their show finishes, like the day after, the whole season drops on Netflix. And so since I have Netflix, I'm like, that's kind of appealing to me to just be able to binge it all and not have ads. But I also don't know if I really need to like catch up now and watch it live. Like, is that an experience I will regret not having? I know it's just a personal opinion. Jaren told me I could probably do either, but I just kind of wanted your opinion since you brought it up. I have to go now. Thank you, Marvel Studio Well. Thank you so much for staying. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day as well. And anyone that's got to leave, we'll be on for, I'll answer the rest of these questions, I guess, and then probably get off because I'm hungry. I'm ready for lunch. So yeah, thank you so much for coming by, Marvel Studio Well. Anthony, financial advisor. Yeah, I try. I mean, I'm no Dave Ramsey, okay, but I can try to give a little bit of like, if I'm gonna be showing off Funko Pops, I just feel obligated to say like, because I was given fair warning, and then knowingly jumped into the collection. But yeah, I don't want to encourage anyone to like weekly, because like if you go to Target, once you start collecting them, or Blu-rays are kind of the same way. Once you start, then each time you're at Best Buy, each time you're at Walmart, each time you're at Target, you're like checking. You're like, it's only $9. It's only $9, but like $9 adds up pretty quick. So, Julian of Fandoms was also directed by Kenny Ortega, so the original director of the HSM trilogy. Interesting. I think I knew this now that you're bringing it up, but I would not have been able to like say that off the bat. So yeah, that's cool. They posted the first 3 sorry to cut up Zialev's comment, but there is a animated show that is coming out about Mal and Ben from the Descendants series, the movies, which are also Kenny Ortega. There's going to be an animated series about, or special about, their wedding. It was kind of cool. I read that today. So yeah. So be on the lookout for that if you're a Descendants fan or a Kenny Ortega fan. Yeah, be on the lookout for that. They posted the first 3 episodes of iCarly, and then they came out with another, but I don't know if it's weekly with iCarly. Okay, I wonder if maybe they're doing like bi-weekly or something, or HBO Max did this with Made for Love, which I'm still iffy about. That's why I never really talked about it on the channel. Is I was looking forward to it a lot, and it was kind of iffy on how I felt about it. So I wonder if they're dropping them in batches. So it's like the best of both worlds. You get the best of both worlds. You get to mash up the weekly releases with like binging and kind of make sort of everyone happy. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't have Paramount Plus either, but the iCarly reboot is coming out weekly. Okay, well, Timothy, I guess, answered my question. It's coming out weekly. Ray says, I don't watch Superman and Lois live, but it's so good, and maybe wait so you don't get invested and it takes so long. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you watch it on like the CW website after each episode comes out. Okay, I'm thinking, just because like I said, I'm really invested in Teen Wolf now. Like, really invested to the point where I already have a video series I'm ready to make about it. Articles and essays I've kind of... That's how you know you're a nerd. If you write like essays in your free time. Like, what a loser. But yes, I have very serious thoughts about Teen Wolf that I want to talk about on my channel, so be on the lookout for that. But because Tyler Hoechlin is in that show, and then he's also in Superman and Lois, maybe I will just wait until July 20th, because confession, I only started Teen Wolf a week ago, and I'm already on season 3. Like, season 3, episode 2, so like I'm in season 2, or season 3. So I definitely see myself finishing that before the end of summer, so then I'm thinking maybe I'll just wait for Superman and Lois at that point. Plus, I kind of want to be able to do a little bit of research on it, just because my Arrowverse knowledge is limited and probably outdated, since it's been like 4 years since I watched Arrow and Flash, the first couple seasons of those shows, which I really liked. But what actually happened with that? I was watching them, and then I got rid of my Netflix subscription for a while. It wasn't like for any reason other than just like, I think Disney Plus came out, and so I was like, I'm not going to pay for Netflix anymore. And now my lovely boyfriend lets me use his Netflix. So that's how I get it. So I just haven't picked it up in a while. But Ray says, I need to watch Flash. He's obsessed, or she, sorry, Ray, not sure. You're obsessed with it, and I've heard similar things. I mean, Jack, my co-host for Loki Lies, loves Arrow, which also has Colton Haynes from Teen Wolf. See, any connection to Teen Wolf I can make, I will make it. But yeah, okay, maybe I will pick back up on it. I know they just Jordan Fisher is in the new season as Barry's son. Barry and Iris' son. So that was a cool addition. I actually wrote a story about that, a news article about that. So that was cool. But yeah, okay, maybe I'll get a little bit more into the Arrowverse. Maybe I'll wait till the season is... That's what I'll do. I'll wait now till the whole season is out, continue with the shows I'm watching right now, and then maybe dip my toe into the Arrowverse a little bit. See what's going on there. Because that is the one part of DC, with the exception of like Dark Knight Trilogy, Joker, those kind of things that are like detached from the movies. I don't even know, because I thought DCEU was like everything, but it's not. There's Arrowverse, there's DCEU, there's like the Snyderverse, which is not happening now, and then there's the other stuff, like Robert Pattinson's Batman. So I'm not really sure. But okay. I will thoroughly consider jumping back into the Arrowverse. But guys, I think that's going to be it for today. Unless anyone's got some dire question they want to ask in the last like 5 minutes of this stream, go for it. It can literally be like what I'm going to have for lunch. I don't know is the answer. Probably something leftover. But yeah, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you who have been here in this stream. You guys are incredible. You've made it so that I don't have to talk to a camera with no one here for the whole time. And that is super cool. And I love doing these live streams. I think I'm a little overeager sometimes with the live streams. Like someone was saying, like, no, you still need to make actual videos for your channel, not just live streams. But as we get closer and closer to me going back to school in fall, I will probably be coming out with a more like true schedule that I can stick to, or like a looser schedule so that you guys know when I'm going to be posting content. By that point, who knows what I'm going to be reviewing week to week TV show wise, and movies will be back. So I hope to do more of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just really want to say thank you to all you guys. You've made this like 2 times in a week a great like 2 hours or hour and a half of my time. Ray, thank you so much for subscribing. I so appreciate it. It means so much to me. And again, thank you to all of you guys for like blowing up my High School Musical the series episode 7 review. Y'all are crazy, cool, amazing people. And I love you guys so much. Truly, I know it sounds so weird. I'm like, oh, I'm making videos and there's people on the internet I don't know. And like, I'm saying like, I really care about you guys, but I genuinely do. You show up and you make the stuff that you've made my hobby into like a thing, and I love it being a thing. So thank you. Okay. I'm getting sappy. I'm getting hungry. I need to go eat lunch. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday, guys. Yeah. And I will see you guys for sure next Sunday with this same time stream or timeline for the live stream. It works for me. Yeah. So I'm going to be doing that. Wednesdays are Loki videos. Friday is the High School Musical reviews. Sunday now will, I guess, be these live streams. And I've got some other stuff cooking. It just is a matter of when I finish editing. So thank you guys again. Have a great, great day. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, guys. Bye.